How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Morgan Stanley just did it. I want to explain what they did here today, along with some other big news. I mean, there's some really, really big news happening in the market here today. So I'll go through all of it if you don't mind. Hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one. Also, there's a link underneath the video to Margex where you can trade cryptocurrencies using all different kinds of assets. And by that, I mean you can trade Bitcoin. You can trade it with Link as your collateral, or Bitcoin as collateral, or ETH, or USDT, or Caspa, and you can get that in reward. So if I trade the Bitcoin chart with Link, I can actually make Link when I have successful trades. So check that out underneath the video. Also, CoinW has a deposit event going on. This has been going on for about 2 weeks. They're going to increase the length because a lot of people have actually been able to get 4-figure rewards by depositing a certain amount and having a certain amount of trading volume. So definitely check out that link underneath the video as well. Let's start here. Morgan Stanley bought $187 million worth of Bitcoin for its own fund through BlackRock's ETF, IBIT. And now I've seen several people reporting on this. It sounds like they're putting it within their own funds. It's not like just going to clients. Like they don't have some hedge fund or some retiree that goes to Morgan Stanley and then they sell them IBIT, for example. It sounds like there's some pre-made portfolio and they bought $187 million worth of Bitcoin within that portfolio. Now this is really big because there are a lot of assets that are already in these portfolios. So a $200 million allocation is basically nothing. And we talked about that earlier today with Goldman Sachs. Like Goldman Sachs has $3 trillion of AUM. So 418 million is like 0.013%. Okay, that's nothing. Even if they 10x the allocation, it would be less than 0.2% of their AUM. So these entities are the big movers. These are the ones that can push people to buy. These are the people that investors have been with for 10, 20, 30 years. They trust them, and now they're starting to sell IBIT. They're starting to sell Fidelity. They're starting to sell all these ETFs, and this is big news. Like they're finally doing it, and even just a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Morgan Stanley possibly doing this. And opening their fund to, their 15,000 financial advisors, starting to push this. And that was literally just a few weeks ago. And they already have $200 million in AUM for IBIT. Keep in mind, there are a lot of other entities that haven't even started this yet. Wells Fargo is one of the big ones. And there's been some news that they may be doing this soon. Even the people that have Bitcoin already, some of them are still continuing to buy more. Let me play this video for you. But Mara, which is one of the biggest public miners out there, secured $300 million through an oversubscribed offering of convertible senior notes. With the proceeds, we purchased 4,144 Bitcoin, approximately valued at $249 million, boosting the strategic reserve to over 25,000 Bitcoin. Let me play this for you, and then I'll explain why this is such a big deal.
Mara has successfully secured $300 million through its oversubscribed offering of convertible senior notes. Using proceeds from the notes, Mara purchased 4,144 BTC, worth around $249 million, further bolstering its strategic Bitcoin reserve to over 25,000 BTC. Just as we have diversified our approach to digital asset compute with a portfolio of self-owned and hosted data centers, we are also taking a multifaceted approach to acquiring Bitcoin. By strategically evaluating the price of Bitcoin relative to mining costs, we are optimizing our methods to efficiently expand our holdings across various conditions. Our commitment to this strategy reflects our conviction that Bitcoin is the world's best strategic treasury reserve asset and the preeminent form of digital capital. Its absolute scarcity, strong mobility, and robust security make it an essential part of our balance sheet. As we expand our Bitcoin holdings, we encourage other institutions, governments, corporations, and organizations alike to join us in upgrading the global economy through digital capital. For more information, visit mara.com.
So this is a big deal. Obviously, they already have a lot invested in Bitcoin, but they're going out of their way to invest more in Bitcoin, and they already mine it. It would be like, I heard this the other day, it would be like a chocolate factory going out and buying more chocolate from another factory, right? Like that just doesn't happen. But when you have something that you think is going to be this valuable, you do go make those moves to try to get as much as possible when you feel like you're getting a good value. And keep in mind, like Mara, sure, they are a big company. They are a $4.5 billion stock. MSTR is a big company now. It's a $25 billion stock. They were small. They were maybe 1/10 the size a couple of years ago, right? Even during the bomb in the bear market, they were 1/10 the size. So since then, they've been able to buy a lot of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's value has gone up. There are so many companies out there that could do this, that will do this. But keep in mind, FASB rules still don't allow people to be able to show Bitcoin real easily. Like you could buy Bitcoin and then it falls and then you have to report that as a loss. But that changes this year. I believe it's towards the end of the year that those rules take effect. So there will probably be entities that can much easier buy these commodities like Bitcoin and show them on their balance sheet without always showing losses. So I would not be surprised if we saw that in the next couple of years, 10, 20, 50 different companies start buying Bitcoin. We've already seen that a little bit, but obviously there's a playbook right now that a lot of people will follow. How many public companies are out there? Thousands and thousands of them. They all have access to cheap capital, especially when they're volatile, like we've laid out before. Jack Muller says you can't afford a home because the government printed too much money, devaluing the dollar and making your savings worthless. Want to own a home? You don't need new policies. You need new money. Save in dollars, life gets more expensive. Save in Bitcoin, life gets cheaper. 2016, 2020, 2024. The cost of a house in Bitcoin has continuously gone down. I mean, even if you just DCA'd throughout the entire bear market, you'd be up maybe 2x. Your house would cost half as much in Bitcoin. So yeah, I love this. I love this. And he's responding to Senator Warren talking about how we're facing a national housing shortage. She is part of the problem, right? But they get richer and richer and richer as more money gets printed because they hold on to scarce assets. This is interesting too. Obviously, everything comes back to Bitcoin. Breaking. Hackers may have stolen the social security number of every American from national public data, around 2.9 billion records. This is why it's important to have assets that aren't tied directly to your social security number, right? So if you want to go buy some Bitcoin, cold storage it, might make sense. Now, of course, always do your own due diligence. If you trade over on Margex2, there's no KYC. You don't need to put in your personal information, so you put some money on here, and then you can trade with it. They don't have your personal information in case there's ever a massive leak like this, which can protect you a bit. Now, of course, do your own due diligence. Make sure you understand what you're doing if you're leverage trading or if you're trading in general. Obviously, they would have your email as well. You need an email, a password, and then you need to check the terms and conditions if you want to start trading. Always be vigilant out there. Never get too comfortable because there are scammers all over the place. Now, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Check out the links underneath the video. Let me know what you think about Morgan Stanley buying some Bitcoin. And I have a long walk on the beach to attend to with my wife. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.